Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Comic Wall. It's me, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 2 of Crude by Steve Orlando and Garry Brown. I was super psyched for this issue because one, the cover. Just look at that. How well you can't. There you go. Just look at that. It's kick ass. I mean, we have Peter here masked in like mud and blood, so it rhymes, and it's just amazing. And I'm really loving what Garry Brown and Lee Loughridgh, I hope I'm saying your name right, what they're doing with this art, because it's awesome. And also, just from last issue, if you remember, Peter Petrovich, the sort of main character of the series, his son was killed after moving to Blackstone to kind of be his own man and to live his life free of worry, because he was gay or bisexual. I'm still not too sure, but he went to Blackstone looking for refuge to be himself, be his own person, and he ends up getting killed. And so Peter has gone to Blackstone to find out what kind of man his son became, and also, of course, to get revenge on his son's killers. So, with what we see in this issue, what we start off with, we see a little more of Peter's personality, because, he's this big, hotshot assassin, essentially. And it's weird. He gets bumped in a crowded street, and he gets so mad about it. He's like, "Look at you're so rusty. What's wrong with you?" And he hates it. It's like he despises himself for it. And here we get to see a great, I guess, backdrop of what Blackstone really looks like from the inside. I mean, we can see over here that two lovers are kind of getting it on. It's pretty freelance, or I don't know what to say. It's pretty loose in other words. And obviously it's a refinery city, so you see all the smoke rising from different factories, tall buildings that are most likely business buildings, and it's essentially what you would think a suburban scenery would look. And after a bit of wandering, Peter makes it down to he's wandering around the docks, and we see this kid running this, I guess, food stand, and he's getting harassed by this big businessman and woman who are, I guess, they're called Petropinnacle, and I'm sure that's one of the bigger refinery companies there in Blackstone that probably built Blackstone. And they're being really rough on this kid. I mean, it's showing how grandfather his grandfather died, and he's actually running his grandfather's stand, but they're kind of roughing him up a bit, saying everything above the water belongs to Petropinnacle, and you can't ignore our tariff. So basically they're trying to hustle him for money, obviously. But then we get cut to these three, like, I would say Charlie's Angels, but one of them's a dude, and they're like, he can stay as long as we say he can. And then we get a name for this group called Meshe Adam, or Meshe Adam. I don't know how to say it. Let's just go with Meshe Adam. And I'm pretty sure there's some kind of turf war going on, because between Meshe Adam and Petropinnacle, Petropinnacle is obviously the big business trying to run everyone out of their money, and Meshe Adam is more the vigilante group trying to stop that. And so these three from Meshe Adam attack these two, and like they kick their butts pretty badly. And at one point, the businesswoman says, "We built Blackstone. This is ours," But then one of the lead people of Meshe Adam says, "Building isn't owning. The docks have been annexed by Meshe Adam." And it's crazy. take them down and pretty much send them running. Now this kid is left with, like his stand's been kind of messed up, but he's grateful. He's like, I've heard about you guys. Thank you. They'd bleed me dry if they had their way, and sell the stall to the next fool. But I guess these guys aren't so much saints, anyways, because they the lead woman here is just like, you're weak. What would you have done without us? You were ready to give up. So like, show some gratitude. Nothing's free in life. Nothing that matters anyway. And then we see Peter come into the picture, and he looks like he starts to ask them something, but he hesitates, and then they leave, and so he ends up helping this kid set his stand back up. Just being a good guy. Then a little while after that, we see the head lady passing on, I guess, a payment from this kid that they just saved, and she gives it to this guy, saying, take this mess of a payment to Conan. And then from there, the guy takes it to another guy, says to Conan, and then the guy gives it to a woman, to Conan, and then the woman takes it to Conan. And here, when we finally get to Conan, we see it's titled Meshe Adam Keep, floating beneath Blackstone, and there's this guy in a leather jacket. Just he's I feel like he's giving these two guys in his office a hard time, because he's like, we're at the end of the world, gentlemen. I know your secrets, the payments wired to your dying brother, the videos you made to pay rent or for fun, and you can live as you want in Blackstone, but not for free. Now that's interesting, because you think Meshe Adam was like, standing up for the little guy, but it turns out they're probably just another group of business people trying to spread their turf. I'm pretty sure these guys are making, porn videos and just sending the money to their brother who's dying. But we get from this guy that he's saying, appear for your shift at Petropinnacle, act normal, bring one of my packages with you, and do as I tell you. We all have secrets we died to keep, and that's exactly what you'll have to do. So I'm sure Meshe Adam is some kind of extremist group that's trying to take Petropinnacle down, and maybe this roughing up of these guys is to stage an attack against them. And this woman finally gives the payment to Conan, and it's just this jar of fish, maybe sardines, but there's a letter in it. And so Conan reads, or he's saying, like, despite our gains, Petropinnacle still questions our turf. No matter, Meshe Adam is turning the people against them. We control more of Blackstone every day. Soon we'll have driven Petropinnacle from the city they built and taken its wealth for Meshe Adam. And then here, until then, they can question our power. But by morning, they'll have another reminder. And I'm pretty sure that's where this attack comes from, that he's telling these two guys to plan. Now we're back at the docks, and Peter has helped this kid set his stand back up, and we get to hear more of this kid's background. His mom died. He and his grandfather had to pay off her mob debt, and then his grandfather died. So now he's kind of just stuck. And Peter's starting to hear that, everyone's kind of here for themselves. They're not helping anyone, and they're not taking care of their own. One of the interesting things here is that the kid says, this place is an anus. People come here for all sorts of reasons, but helping each other isn't one of them. And so Peter is, he's just listening to this kid. And then 4 more thugs from Petropinnacle come by, and they're like, you replaced Meshe Adam thugs with a withered old man. And then they whip out these these nightsticks that I'm sure isn't meant to play baseball with. So they tell Peter to get out of here. They say, "Take a walk, you dried up badger," and he runs. He leaves, but he doesn't. He doesn't stay gone for long. He runs into an alley, takes off his shirt, and I guess in an effort to disguise himself so that he doesn't draw too much attention to himself, he uh, gets some mud from the ground. I wouldn't trust mud from an alleyway though, and spreads it all over his body and his face. And slicks back his hair. And throughout this whole thing, it's that comment that guy said, "Take a walk, you dried up badger," is playing throughout the whole page, saying, and I mean, we can tell that Peter's pretty rough on himself. So hearing this, he's not happy. He is absolutely uh, angry about it. And so we get cut back to the four thugs, and they're beating up on this kid, and it sucks, I mean, he's a kid. You're gonna beat up on a kid who's trying to, make a living. Of course they are. They're business people. And then we see Peter just jump off one of the stands and kick one of these guys in the face, and I'm pretty sure he knocked him out. And then he attacks another guy, another one of the thugs, takes his nightstick, and and then busts the teeth out of another one of the other thugs. Pretty much, he kicks their butt and leaves. He's ready to do more, but what one of the thugs that he's beating on says, "Let me go. Like, what do you care? They're just dock workers." And this is what I like. Peter says, "Good point. This is their turf," and leaves these four thugs for the dock workers to finish the job. And so after that whole mess, Peter's kind of taking a shower in an alley again by some running water, and he's thinking about what his son said. And we see uh, Carol saying, "Being untruthful is what scares me." And Peter said, "Untruthful? What are you talking about?" And Carol responds with, "You've never cared who I am, Peter Petrovich. It's too late to start." And now Peter responds with, "I'm starting now, Carol. Long overdue, but I won't stop. Not anymore. Anyone connected to your death, Petropinnacle, Meshe Adam, Prava." I'm not sure what Prava is exactly, but then he says, "Will meet me." So he's ready to take on anyone he has to in order to bring his son's killers to justice. Now we're back to the Meshe Adam hideout, and Conan is met with one of his other, I guess, thugs, and he's bringing him a phone saying, "This is from the docks. We braced Petropinnacle, but they didn't stop." And then he looks at the phone, and it's all the dock workers beating up on the Petropinnacle thugs. And Conan says, "Of course they didn't, but look at these carpet vendors. Fight them. They're doing our job for us. Interesting. They really think we're on their side. I'm not ungrateful for that, but help them clear the bodies quietly. Let's support our community." So this is interesting because obviously Meshe Adam isn't for defending the little guy, but what are they doing? What's their end game? And it's interesting to see. We're starting to see a lot more of what Blackstone really is. It's probably not the safe haven that Carol thought it was. Obviously not. He was killed by Blackstone. Now the next morning, we see these two office ladies talking about another Meshe Adam attack last night, one of the East Towers. So we need to start hiring if we want to stay ahead of them. Now, I'm sure that was the attack that Conan sent those other two to do, and I'm sure they died doing that, probably as suicide bombers. It's interesting because these women keep talking, and they're like, morons, all of them, guns and death wishes, again and again, took out 5 before security got them. What are these people thinking? Do they think they can actually depose us? And they're, basically talking down Meshe Adam, claiming they're the thugs, which, I mean, they're both pretty thuggish, but, it's, unfortunately, that's business and it sucks. We also see Peter getting ready, getting dressed, and leaving, I guess, an apartment. And he actually shows up in this office where these two ladies are talking, and it's interesting just seeing him like bright and smiling, looking like a uh, friendly old dad, And he says, "Good morning. My name is Peter Petrovich Bilibin. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. And I heard you're hiring. What is he up to? He's looking to be hired by Petropinnacle? Like, what's going on?" And, that's what we end the issue with. And so I like this issue. We get to see a lot more of what Blackstone really is. It's not all closed eyes and like turning the other cheek or whatever. Like people can be who they want to be, but they're practically paying a mob turf. And it's interesting because, like, if that's the case, what happened with Carol and why was he killed because of it? So that I'm pretty excited to see what happens next, and hopefully we can see um more of what happened to Carol as Peter really infiltrates Petropinnacle from the inside. But that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications of when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and you don't miss out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.